In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the specially merciful. By the blessing of Sidi Shaykh, may Allah sanctify his secret. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the specially merciful. By the blessing of Sidi Shaykh, may Allah sanctify his secret. To achieve true gain, separate yourself from the crowd. When the children of Prophet Jacob approached him, they pleaded, "O our father, seek forgiveness for our sins. Indeed, we were at fault." He replied, "I will seek forgiveness from my Lord. He is indeed the most forgiving, the very merciful." Prophet Jacob's prayers were efficacious because he was among those forgiven by the Lord. He was one who embodied the statement of the real. When I love him, I become his hearing, his seeing, his hand, his foot. And when he calls on me, I answer him. Why does he answer him? Because this servant is wholly immersed in his divine proximity. Why can't you, children of Jacob, who are in the spiritual station of the prophets, invoke Allah yourselves? Because you've ensnared yourselves in the labyrinth of your ego, nafs, and your heedlessness has manifested as the injustice you inflicted on your brother Joseph. O seeker on this path, do you grasp this? They were guilty of injustice, so they sought the aid of the one with the greatest influence, or the one with the most intimate connection to the Lord, to seek forgiveness on their behalf. But what does "seek forgiveness for them" signify here? It means to assist them in escaping the deceit of their nafs and the weight of the injustice they carry. What counsel does Sayyiduna Jacob give his sons when they return to the city? He advises, "My sons, do not enter through one gate, instead enter through different gates." Why different gates? Because when you gather, it's a catastrophe. If you gather, then you won't be 11 prophets. Rather, you'll have 11 shaitans in your midst. Therefore, to avert this, separate yourselves. Separate yourselves so that the illness does not spread among you. As soon as you assemble, remember the first time you gathered. You threw Joseph into the well. If you repeat this, if you all enter through the same gate, you'll set a new trap for him. So stay separate. Keep the flame of your faith, Iman, pure within you. We impart the same advice to the disciple. Avoid gathering for idle talk. The moment you assemble for chatter, you'll begin setting traps for each other. Let each of you sit in your corner, seeking the forgiveness of your Lord. Refrain from congregating for idle talk, for it will inevitably lead you to commit the deeds of the sons of Prophet Jacob. You start with 2, then 3. By the time you're 11, you'll have extinguished the pre-eternal sun. You won't have ignited it. You'll have indeed extinguished it. Father, I saw 11 stars, the sun and the moon, prostrating before me. These 11 stars, they are the ones who quenched the pre-eternal sun, casting him into the well. They left him concealed, hidden at the bottom of the well, and then later in a prison for years, until the Lord, in his preordained time, chose to bring him back to the light. This is the same for you. The greatest danger to a disciple arises when his peers gather around him and appoint him as their leader. Once the leader is appointed, he begins devising plans, which always align with the desires of the disciples' nafs. If he dares to express opinions that conflict with their inner desires, he risks losing his position. However, his primary goal is to maintain that position. Therefore, he acts in accordance with the wishes of the disciples to preserve the unity of the group. That's why when Prophet Moses returned to his people, he spoke directly to Prophet Aaron, grabbing him by the beard, because he too feared to speak directly to them. If he had addressed them directly, the group would have dispersed. So what else could he do but tell them to stay there and worship the golden calf? He's careful about his own actions, of course. He won't worship the calf. However, on the other hand, the individual who remains silent on such a grave matter, the implications are clear. You speak of correcting the blameworthy according to the hadith, either by force or by speech, etc. Don't you? So why don't you go to Prophet Aaron and sever his head, for he failed to uphold this divine commandment? The same is for you, O seeker of truth. Change the blameworthy in yourself and focus on the connection with the one who will assist you with his invocations. Separate yourself from the crowd to attain your true potential, because the door allows only one person to pass, not the group. People will enter paradise in groups, but not the divine presence. During the celestial ascension, the Prophet went from door to door until Angel Gabriel told him, If you cross, you pass, while if I cross, I burn, meaning that only one can cross this station or passage. The door only admits one, not two. And when he met Prophet Adam, he didn't invite him, "Come, let's go see Prophet Jesus in the second sky. We'll all perform dhikr together." No, he journeyed alone, and each remained in his own station, with his own invocations, in the presence of the Lord, period. So let me ask you, why aren't you following the same path? Surely you too harbor the aspiration for celestial ascension. Or perhaps your envisioned mirage is tangled amidst the chaos of the crowd. Are you considering carrying out this divine journey as part of a caravan? If that's your plan, then stick with the caravan. But remember, your destination will only be paradise, where you will be dwelling in a state of heedlessness, immersed in bodily pleasures, distracting you from gazing at the face of your Lord. The one who enters the divine presence on the day of increase does so alone. Everyone will enter individually, finding their own seat to settle, and each will engage in a private conversation with the Lord. This is in Sahih al-Bukhari. I am not making this up. For the majority of you who are already drowning in doubts, the Lord won't address you as a group. He'll address each of you individually. To each he'll say, "Do you remember that day when you committed this and that?" The servant will answer, "Lord, haven't you forgiven me?" And he'll respond, "Yes, but this is for you to remember." This tells us that he'll address each one according to his spiritual station, based on what they've achieved and accomplished. It's crucial, therefore, to understand that entrance into this divine presence happens individually, not collectively. Alone, because in this journey, we are advancing towards the one and only. Paradise, on the other hand, is different. In paradise, there are palaces, fragrances, all conceivable fruits, and every kind of bird's meat one could desire. And there, you'll be among other people. You'll visit such and such, you'll come across a magnificent palace, ask to whom it belongs, and be told that it's the dwelling of a particular individual. And that one over there? That's someone else's dwelling. So you'll be touring around like you're on a sightseeing bus. And you might ask, and what did he do to acquire such a palace? You'll be told about specific deeds he performed, and you might think, if only I had acted like him. Isn't this just like it is here on earth, in the dunya? Entering the presence of the Lord is a solo journey. In this place, there are no palaces, no fruits, none of that. This is the extra day, the day of knowledge of the Lord. It's the day beyond ordinary days. And what is this day? It's Friday. It's the day when everyone will be gathered in paradise, and the privileged ones will gain access to the presence of the Lord alone. And Allah the Almighty knows best.